He wants revenge. Maverick Vinales, a little tap on the tank of his factory.
It would be a tall order for Maverick Vinales to achieve that from 10th on the grid. Gloves on.
Aleix Espargaro, can he take his first ever podium here in Qatar? You know, fierce competition will undoubtedly come from the likes of Jorge Martin and an airbag, that elusive 9th world title. We welcome a new superstar in the making as Pedro Acosta, and we welcome you, our incredible fans, to start what has all the makings of being the 11-lap TSO sprint that gets the action underway ahead of the 22-lap grind of the night, setting to get us back underway. A record-breaking Q2, earlier on to better and stronger, doesn't it, every year. Martin's pole time nearly a full second ahead of one better, having come so near yet so far in 2023. Of a second, the top three on the grid, split by just 800ths. But Marquez, the 2007, when Stoner really did announce himself as a future MotoGP sprint. The first two laps are going to be mad. Well, that's what we're here for. This is what we have missed for the 2024. Cannot wait. Bring it on, ladies and gentlemen. Packed with talent. 13 world champions, over 300 Grand Prix victories. Here we go then. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Forget about the win. It's lights out and we are racing in MotoGP 2024. Brilliant. Place to fourth.
Bagnaia got away well, but he's still in fifth. Marc Marquez did not get underway well.
He's just tucked in behind Brad Binder, who nailed the start on that factory KTM. That's Alex Rins further down the field.
Taken there by Fabio Di Gianantonio. So the 2023 Ducatis are battling out further back as Aleix Espargaro.
Split down in 11th spot. The back cam then, looking back to former world champion Fabio Quattro through turn 10 for the first time.
That's Digi through on Marc Marquez again. They've changed places at least 3 times.
The rear tire of his factory Ducati teammate Bastianini. We're on board with the world champion. He's going for it. That's brilliant.
It's difficult to make early progress in the sprint, so he's trying to buck that particular habit this time around. That was right on his case.
Yeah, 54.1 then from Martin. Oh, Binder managed to just collect it all up before he had contact with Martin in that.
We're now looking at Marc Marquez, who looks like he's finally won that battle with Fabio Di Gianantonio. He'll be hoping for his team to what's going on ahead of them.
But second Quattraro made decent progress. Marquez lunging on the inside. Quattraro followed him up 3 places, well from 16th to 13th at the end of lap 1.
Yeah, as we look at the leading group, and then it's Aleix Espargaro, Bagnaia, Bastianini. Here's Digi now going through on Jack Miller, who's having a bit of a sink. Alex Marquez now through on it.
Yeah, he's been picked off by both Marquez brothers on this lap 2 then. Taken over 0.3 of a second on this lap 2 out of Binder. This is what we feared. If Martin could get some more punishment on Jack Miller, it's been a real nightmare. Lap 2 this for the Australian, who's...
Miller now coming back at Pedro Acosta. They're battling for much more than just the final sprint point.
Yeah, a Binder at the front of this sprint. It's all settled down a bit now after what we expected 10th.
The rider to watch on this third lap will be Marc Marquez, just in the back of the picture, outside of Martin and Jack Miller. Marc Marquez has got a half-second gap to claw himself up to the factory Ducatis, and that's another
replay. Bastianini lunging on the inside of his teammate Bagnaia. Looked like he almost locked the front there. Not able to get on his feet. Oh, he's really lucky. How fortunate. It's scary crash because he just plonked himself right in the middle of the field. Marc Marquez.
Bagnaia 52.0, and that brought him into striking distance at the start of this fourth lap of the on that third lap of the sprint. A 52.0, fastest rider on circuit, bringing himself now
7th place at the moment. Looked like Fabio Di Gianantonio also got a little bit caught up and tangled with his crash. Clearly, last time we saw Digia, he wasn't able to have clambered back to his feet. So let's on the tarmac where Digia went down. Yeah, he must have lost the rear. Had to have lost the rear, because you're on this scary crash, scary way to kick off the year for Digia.
Of course, all the riders up behind him are leaned over. Claws into Martin on this fourth lap of the sprint. Martin was threatening to break away a lap or 2 ago. It's just off the back of this leading quartet. Yeah,
Bastianini's got the hurry up here. He can probably hear Marquez coming 10th of a second ahead of Marquez. He'll be looking to pick up some slipstream down the 0.6 of a mile as yet on the sprint king of 2023. 9 sprint wins and 14 podiums.
Outside of Bastianini on that last lap, there was, in fact, outside of Aleix Espargaro, there was only other one rider who have rectified that partway around this 5th lap. He's eked out a 10th of a second once again.
So we remind you, he's a rookie. He's 19 years of age, just day 11 on a MotoGP bike for Acosta. We're on board now with Binder on the factory KTM. More yellow flags out in the 3rd sector. Back now to number 33. Brad Binder did pick up a couple of sprint wins himself in 2020.
There's some debris on the racetrack that maybe Fabio Di Gianantonio left behind that's brought out those yellow flags, but we knew they had to make progress. Tell you what else is making progress. Marc Marquez is. He's passed Enea Bastianini.
Right, this is in the turn 16
that's
then.
A mistake by Enea,
yeah, Bastianini, that's a couple of errors he's made already so far. 83 behind him, which can cause you a little bit of concern.
Yeah, he might as well just put a big... It doesn't look like he's on the defensive, does he? If anything, he's eyeing up and move potentially to try and regain third place.
Stretches that advantage over Binder to over half a second over the line. It was under a tenth and a half. So this has been that little electric burst from the Spaniard directly ahead of him. Binder, of course, has got...
Tends to be faster through the faster stuff. The triple right-handers through the back of the circuit, and he did pull a little...
Some slipstream here, 350 odd kilometres an hour, and he just blitzed by the Prima. Can he get it on that Ducati? He said the reason he wanted to move from Repsol, he wanted to put the smile back on his face. I bet he's bringing like a podium in this sprint.
Still 5 laps of this sprint to go as well. Plenty of time for Marc Marquez. He could serve now up to 7/10 of a second through the first sector. Martin might need to build up that little bit of breathe too. 5.71. The only rider faster was Martin out front.
Pre-season, all was in the game. Marquez, this could potentially be a dream debut on the Ducati. Success here last November. Gigi Dall'Igna looks on. Hasn't four nerve endings jangling for Gigi Dall'Igna. Martin then, still in Cati. What's his advantage over Binder going to be with 4 to go here? It's just over of Marc Marquez. So the Aprilia man still well in contention for this podium. Bastianini looks like he's...
on his pit board, the gap to the rider behind him. Well, they're not telling him who it is. I think he might be about to find out. It's been largely missing for the last 3 years. He will be desperate here to try and be a little bit careful in these final 4 laps so he doesn't slip into the clutches of Alex Marquez and Pedro Acosta, who are both...
Could not believe how it was going to unfold, though, throughout the course of last season. There is the team communication back to Marquez. And that's sort of holding station at the moment. Bagnaia to defend and hold on to that 4th place. That might just well be sprint podium hopes gone here for Marquez.
Great line speed of that Ducati to regain that 4th place. So that's some relief for Bagnaia. Dean is just managing this out of the front, although Binder was quicker last time around. Got back down to 4/10.
Let's see what's him going through that 3rd gear, 140 kilometres an hour. His helmet when he perhaps realises that Marc Marquez has dropped back to 5th place. Has been faultless once again at the front of this sprint. Got the whole shot. It was a close. Looked like he's had it relatively comfortably covered, hasn't he here, Jorge Martin? 2.5 laps to...
Lap and a half or so now, although we're in the part of the track where Binder often did pull time back earlier on in the sprint. Ever so slightly closing on Binder. You do wonder whether Marc Marquez, with that little warning he had through, to have to play a defensive role in these final 2 laps to keep Bastianini at bay.
The war, 2 laps to go here in Qatar. Martin still just a whisker over half a second clear. No, this is not a given. He's going to hold off and resist Aleix Espargaro here, isn't it? Aleix Espargaro desperate for...
He drew alongside Pecco Bagnaia, but that was the Bastianini move from earlier on. He couldn't get it started to tell champion.
Yeah, you guessed Bagnaia could probably sense that was coming and just gave him plenty of room because he knew if he was, they're going to overshoot and running wide. That's precisely what happened to Aleix Espargaro. So into 3rd spot.
Yeah, an update on what's going on further back then. Marquez is still holding
on the grid, and this time around his victim is Pecco Bagnaia, who tries to use some of that Ducati horsepower. He's not... Can he hold on? Can he take Aprilia's first sprint podium here?
Yeah, he's looking good for it now, earlier through there. Bagnaia unable to do so, and you could clearly see on the brakes he wasn't prepared to. 7 for Aleix Espargaro in 3rd, and Pecco Bagnaia can live to fight another day tomorrow.
It's the corner speed. Aprilia is a class leader in MotoGP. He's made the bike with the extra downforce a little bit heavy sector. He's actually starting to reel in Binder here. He might even take 2nd place late on here. For 2nd place, Martin surely has this one covered. What a start.
Magic place, as you say, for Brad Binder, although that might well have been Aleix Espargaro's best hope there. If he attacks into turn 6.
And he's the Tissot Sprint King in Qatar in 2024. The perfect way. Fights his way through to a brilliant 3rd place. He threatened that, having good battles with Marquez. Pedro Acosta does score points on his sprint debut. He was only 3.1 second in the final point scoring place in 9th spot. Just missing out was Jack Miller. No points, doesn't it? Once again, the sprint master is Jorge Martin, who
really got close enough, and the only rider that could have done was Brad Binder to launch an attack, but we saw plenty behind that in 5th place. But Jorge Martin, he dominated this format last year, and
which he established in 2023, and it rolls on. It continues. Sprint and Grand Prix victories in a row for the Borgo Panigale factory.